Hi, this is Emily Matthews covering the month of March 2024 in our housing market update. I warn you ahead of time, this is going to be a little bit longer because there's some news that I wanted to discuss later on in the video. So looking at March, sales are up. List and sale prices are very similar across all of these data sets. Days on market are back down. And that follows along with my hypothesis of last month in February that both prices and days on market were up because it reflected some higher end houses over 500,000 that actually sold. So you can see here the current listings 287, over half of them have offers. Over 500, almost half actually have offers. So even those expensive houses are selling and their days on market is down. And again, over half of the houses under 500,000 have offers already. So here is one headline. They're trying very hard. I've seen a lot of this in the media, trying to spin the idea that you should always rent and never buy a house. I get that in some metropolitan areas, it is cheaper and better to rent. However, none of these 50 cities that they mentioned in the article is in Wisconsin or anywhere close. Now this here, middle column here, is the top cities where they're talking about renting being cheaper than buying. None of them in Wisconsin. I put a picture here. It's a screenshot of a guy who made a video trying to make the case that it's a bad idea to buy a home instead of renting. He gave the example of someone who bought a house for $750,000 10 years ago and sold it for $1,450,000 and said that all he really made was $40,000 because you have to subtract the interest he paid to the bank. Now on face value, let's assume that that's correct. Assuming that the homeowner paid 3%, that would be $22,500. Over 10 years, if it went up to 40,000 or he made 40,000, on the conservative end, it would be 7.8 return on investment. However, if he in actuality added 40,000, so it was now 62,500 that he got out of it, this return on investment would be even more. But assuming it's the low number. Now, the best CD I could find gave a 5% return on investment. Looking at the Dow over 10 years, it's 8.7 return on investment. So theoretically, perhaps if this person had put all this money into the stock market, he would have made more. However, what this man here in this picture is neglecting or ignoring is rent. If this guy that bought this house for $750,000 was living rent-free in his parents' basement, then yeah, he lost the interest he paid to the bank. But what if he was not living rent-free? I checked the municipality and their average rent is about what this is. It's about $3,300 a month, which is what his interest that he lost to the bank averages out to. So he would have been paying that to either his landlord or to the bank. Now, assuming that the rent started out low and then it went up to like $3,500 as an average, that you still get my point. Plus, that is not the average rent that I've seen now. There's some that are even as much as $4,250. So once you take all the rent that he would have been paying and subtract it from the interest he lost, it's probably pretty close to a wash. So that means that yes, he did do quite well in that real estate scenario. So here's a pictorial that illustrates what I was just talking about. You are always going to be paying rent. It's either going to be to a bank in the form of paying your own mortgage, or you're going to be paying rent to a landlord who's using it to pay his mortgage. And if you have your own home, eventually your rent will go away when you pay it off. Here are some examples of some good deals in housing right now. This one here, under 200,000 in Brillion. It is not a $425,000 house that you can get for under 200, but it does look like you could just move in and live there. The bottom two, obviously, you can guess they may need some work. This one actually in Falls, if you didn't mind living in a bit of a ugly interior, you could probably just live in it. This one here in Manitowoc, they don't give interior pictures, but suffice it to say, if you're willing to put in sweat equity, you could still find a fairly good deal in housing. And that's it for now. This is Emily Matthews here to help you with all your real estate needs. Don't forget to subscribe. It's the little icon with my head on it. Have a wonderful day.